Hello and welcome to day 27 of Black History Month, 28 Days of Black Excellence. I am your host, Faith Amour, and I am so glad to have you here with us today. I'm going to be going into the world of politics, and I'm wondering if you know who this individual is right here. She's the first woman and first African American to run for president. Among other accomplishments, she was unbought and unbossed. Her name, Shirley Chisholm. Let's get to know her a bit better. Shirley Chisholm was born Shirley St. Hill, born in Brooklyn, New York on November 30th, 1924, to Guyanese and Bajan parents. Her early school years were spent in Barbados, and so she developed the accent that would stay with her the rest of her life. Chisholm studied and worked in early childhood education in New York and became involved in local Democratic Party politics in the 1950s. In 1964, she was elected to the New York State Assembly, though it was an uphill battle, mainly because she was a woman. It was politics in a man's world, especially at the time. This is her helping out some students there. And this is what happened very shortly after. 1968, she ran for the U.S. House of Representatives from New York's 12th Congressional District and won. She was the first black woman elected to Congress. She was always outspoken about healthcare and education and her thoughts about the wars. 1971 is when she made her presidential bid, and she became the first black major party candidate to run for President of the United States in 1972 for that presidential election. She was also the first woman to ever run for the Democratic Party's presidential nomination and the first woman to enter a presidential debate. Men at the time seemed remiss to vote for her, primarily because she was a woman, not so much because she was black. The campaign that she ran was underfunded, and even fellow feminists didn't support her through, though she was championing their cause. During the campaign, she even had death threats, 3 of them in fact, against her life, but she refused to give up. She had many accomplishments in her various positions. I urge you to read about them. She retired from Congress in 1983 and was chair at Mount Holyoke College and traveled extensively giving speeches. She was always a champion for equality, tolerance, and women's rights. And as you can see, she was respected at the time, not always by everyone who would hear her, but by those who supported her cause. And she was honored in 2014 with a postal stamp that you see there. She retired from Congress in 1983, as I mentioned, but she continued to speak and to travel extensively, and President Clinton nominated her for an ambassadorship to Jamaica in 1993, but because she was ill, she had to withdraw. She died in 2005, January 1st, and in 2015, she was posthumously awarded the Presidential Medal of Freedom. What is her legacy? Who are we because of her? Well, for one thing, she has 3 films, one last year, one this year, and one to come, that are going to be presented, that are going to be, I want you to see the movie preview. There we go. So movies about her by standout actresses, and she has a state part in New York, a research center. Obama and Clinton in 2008 said that her 1972 bid helped pave the way for them as a black individual and as a female. And Kamala Harris's really paid her homage to her quite a bit within the last few years. Particularly, she launched her presidential campaign 47 years to the day after Chisholm's presidential campaign, and also wore purple in her honor, as we've seen all over the news. Now the question is, what can you do today in the spirit of Shirley Chisholm? She was unbought and unbossed. She was outspoken, even though she wasn't getting the support that she wanted and needed. She never stopped. Even with death threats against her, she never stopped. And I think that's incredible. I challenge you to be the first, to be the best, to be the one that we talk about for years to come. What in this story stood out for you? Let me know in the chat, and let me know if Shirley Chisholm has had an influence on your world. If you enjoyed the program, hit the like button, share, or follow me on the socials and YouTube. We look back so we can look forward to a better world. See you next time when we'll wrap up our month of Black History with a special program. Whether you're watching from Facebook, YouTube, or Instagram, I'm Faith Amore, and I thank you for watching. Bye-bye for now.